how much pressure you were able to put on Tom Brady?
Well, it was a good game plan until that last drive. Apologize to the fans. Gave up like a 70-yard drive there. But, you know, what's great. That's a heck of a football team that we just got through playing. They're going to make plays on you. We thought we had a good plan. And you know, but the plans are useless without, you know, great play from your players. And our guys bought in. They did a great job. It was a total effort there on defense from the pass rush to the second level and obviously to the deep guys. So just a great effort. We knew we had a good plan, and again, I tip my hat to the players and the assistant coaches.
Rex, how about the job Mark did? 3 touchdown passes, and now he's 4-1 in playoff games.
Well, he only had 127 rating, so 127.3. I'll take it. You know, the thing is with this young man, he's just getting better. He's just now getting better and better and better. It's only in year 2. He's won a bunch of playoff games that might be a record for most road wins or close to it. That a quarterback's only been in the league for 2 years. And he's, you know, like I said, I mentioned last year, I go, one day he's not going to be looked at as weakness of the team. He'll be looked at as a strength. And I think you're seeing that right now. He did a tremendous job. And I tell you what, our receivers played great. They all 3 of those guys contributed. From San Antonio with a touchdown. Braylon had a big game. And Jericho Cotchery had a huge game for us. So just, you know, really proud of our effort. I mean, it took all of us. You know, we had a bunch of mighty men in there, and we showed up for 60 minutes. And that's what it takes to play against a great football team and obviously going against what I think is the best coach in the league in Belichick. So, you know, we came here for a reason. We got the victory. Can't be more happy.
Rex, you had a pretty long embrace with Dill at the end. What did he say to you?
Nah, I'm not going to share that. He just, you know, very complimentary.
Rex, Brady's body language in the pocket was completely different from the Monday night game. How were you guys able to apply that much consistent pressure to him, get him on nerve?
Well, you got to mix it on him. You know, this isn't the first time we've ever played good on defense. I mean, we know a little bit about playing defense. And, you know, clearly you got to mix it up on him. You can't just give him, you know, one thing all the time. You got to mix your coverages, mix your blitzes, mix simulated pressures, all that kind of stuff. Against these great quarterbacks, that's what you have to do. And that's back-to-back weeks, you know, against Peyton Manning at Indy and now Tom Brady at, you know, at New England. And Mission Impossible, we go to round 3 of Mission Impossible.
What was the key to John Ellis getting so much pressure at the moment?
He's a great football player. He just needed the opportunity, and we turned him loose.
Rex, what about your 2 receivers with Edwards and Holmes brought them in this year for a game like this? Do you think they delivered?
I know they delivered, you know. And again, Mike Tannenbaum, you know, really put this team together for this time of year. We knew that we'd have to beat those kind of opponents. You got to get a team that can beat New England and a team that can beat Indianapolis at their place and Pittsburgh, hopefully. So we know we're facing the best 3 teams in the AFC other than us at their places, and we got to be, you know, you're going to take some great players, you know, on your side to get that done.
Rex, you had Dennis Bird address the team last night. Can you talk about the message he said and the emotion that was in that one?
No, I tell you what, he's a Jet, and he'll always be a Jet.
When you talk about running down the sideline, what was going through your mind?
Well, if he was standing up, I was going to tackle him. But, you know, then I realized you know, I don't have a whole lot of talent, so I'm glad that he was on the ground.
What's the biggest concern going to play into Heinz Field after winning in such a tough environment here?
Well, I tell you what, I'll let you know tomorrow or the next day. I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Coach, to what extent do you and the team feel vindicated after all the crosstalk this week that you were able to back up the press?
You know what? That's a great football team we got through, you know, playing. I just think we talk because we believe in ourselves. I think that was where the talk came from. There's a huge amount of respect that our team has for New England. I mean, that's a great football team. And they got, you know, a great franchise. But, you know, we're not afraid of anybody. And, you know, maybe people take it the wrong way or look at us or whatever, but we don't try to badmouth an opponent. We respect every opponent. We especially respect these guys, but we're not in fear of anybody. And we came here on a mission, and we're trying to win a Super Bowl. We still got a long way to go. Obviously, we got to go into Pittsburgh. And you know, I told our players after that game, I said, hey, make your marks. We're coming back here. Said the same thing about going to New England. So, you know, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm not always wrong on everything I say.
Are you surprised that Belichick went for that big punt at that point?
We played it great. You know, got to give a ton of credit. Eric Smith had a whale of a game for us. Just continues to make great plays. And Mike Westhoff alerted our guys on the sideline, as far as anybody knows, for that fake punt, and just did a great job of that.
Would you have preferred that Sean went down when he scored the touchdown there at the end? It turned out it didn't hurt, but would you prefer that he took the knee in?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. I was, you know, and when I was running down there, I was yelling to get down, but I really wasn't. You know, but it was, it sounded like a good story. But you're exactly right. We should have gone over it, never did. I was just hoping we pound one through there. I was telling A-Lynn, I'm like, we're going to crack one. We're going to crack one. And I said, you believe it? You believe it? And he goes, yeah, right here. Bam, there he goes. And, you know. No, but I did, you know, earlier in the week I took a header going down some steps, slipped on some ice, went about 5 feet. But, you know, I still wasn't going to miss this game.
Rex, the last time you played Pittsburgh, at the end of the game, you said to Tomlin, I was pretty sure we'll see you guys somewhere down the road. What was it about them that you thought that way?
A great football team, you know, and I figured by the time it's all said and done, you're going to have to, the only way you get to the Super Bowl is you got to be playing some great teams to get through there. And you know, unfortunately, I was wanting the game played, you know, in our stadium, but, you know, that never worked out that way. So, again, when it's tough on everybody else, I guess it's just all right for us.
David Harris has intercepted on Newman's first possession after they had moved the ball pretty good down the field on it. I think that set the tone almost for the rest of the game, because it almost looked like that could have been a continuation of 45-3, the way we were moving the ball on that first series.
They're going to move it anyway on everybody. I appreciate you pointing that out. But they, you know what, Gary, it's one of those things where, you know, I mean, this team is, they had a zillion points and all that this season. I mean, that's Tom Brady back there at quarterback. You know, he may not study like Peyton Manning, but he's pretty good. And, you know, it just, we finally got an interception against the guy. I think he'd only thrown like 400 passes without one. So we felt pretty fortunate. I was hoping that David would outrun those linemen that tackled him, or whoever it was. But Algie Crumpler looked like a lineman, but Algie played well. Big guy can still get it done. But you know what? You know, we'll just take it. We'll take it, man. I'm proud of our guys.
Last one.
How important is it that you're doing this the difficult way? You go to Indy, end their season, you come here, end their season. If you win Pittsburgh, you'll end their season.
We prefer to be at home. Let's just put it to you that way. You know, but hopefully next year we will be at home.
Last one from Dan Leberfeld.
Rex, Dan Leberfeld, Jets Confidential. The fact that you have two #1 receivers in Holmes and Braylon Edwards, how much? Three. While getting to the third guy, Jericho Cotchery, that probably presents favorable matchups for him, and he took advantage of it.
He did, and that's what we were saying. Like this, when we picked up Santoni, we were able to make that trade. You just looked at it like this is what we envisioned. You know, the ability to throw the ball, be able to run the ball, and we got some weapons now. I mean, it's hard to beat the guys that we have. We got 3 great receivers, a great receiving tight end, and 2 great backs. So, and a heck of an offensive line. So I think that we can match up offensively against anybody in this league, and that's the way we've been playing.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. He's done.
Where do we begin? Well, why don't we start with the Jets defense, which is Rex Ryan's forte, and it's the basis for which they spoke this week. 45 points, as we all know, week 13 on the Monday night, 21 in this playoff win, 259, many in the we have to pass because we're behind mode, 5 sacks. Forced 1 turnover, we're close to getting a couple more. And by the way, they didn't turn it over at all. So more than anything else, Tom, what did you see defensively from the Jets? Obviously, there were looks that Tom Brady and the Patriots weren't were not prepared for it, but surprised them some. It wasn't all-out pressure, but it was a more pressurized game, of course, than they had last week against the Colts, and they actually got pretty good pressure with 4 or 5 guys, right?
I thought that the Jets did a great job of mixing coverages. That's what you're talking about. They rushed 3. Sometimes they rushed 4. During their blitz packages, they, I think, really combined that with their coverage skills where they locked up on guys and made Brady have to take a second look, something that we talked about on Countdown this morning. But pressure, and I always say this about Tom Brady, it can't be token pressure. It has to be real. You have to knock him down and make him aware of the fact that he's getting hit. I believe that every quarterback is pretty much the same when you're doing that. The 5 sacks speak to that. I thought that they did a great job, Rex Ryan and his staff, of moving around Cromartie and Revis. And Revis, because of situations, found himself sometimes on the outside against Tate, oftentimes in much of the game against Branch. I'd probably say percentage-wise about 70% of the time, and even on Welker in the slot at times. So they did a great job of mixing and matching and causing some confusion to an offense that's the highest scoring in the National Football League.
Well, and the 7th highest scoring in points total in the history of the league with 518 points. Now, a lot of that, admittedly, was on defense and special teams. So 518 is 518. So when they played, one thing that the Jets weren't sure, and at times, even when they were winning, is getting a pass rush with just the 4 up front. You saw Pace, you saw Ellis, you saw a Patriot front wall that usually protects Tom Brady, you know, like their mother hens. This time not be impregnable, Tom.
Yeah, I thought that whoever was rushing, and you saw how exhausted the Jets defense was in the 4th quarter, and especially the second half of the 4th quarter of this game, but tremendous effort on the part of the defensive line and linebackers, whether they were rushing 3, 4, 5 or more. I thought that the effort was tremendous. Good job of the pre-snap reads and hiding that from Tom Brady. You saw a lot of movement by the Jets, that walking around, not letting him get a sense of this guy is coming, this guy is not. So I think that that pre-snap information, it was not there for him, and all of a sudden he found himself being a little bit confused as the rush came at him.
Let's flip it for a minute, because one of the things that has made the Patriots great, especially in their first days, when in 01 and 03 and 04, well, in 03 and 04, they but still weren't unbelievably dynamic in offense, obviously outstanding, but was an understanding by players, Tommy, on both sides of the ball. Okay, defensive, here's how we have to help our offense. Offensively, here's how we have to help our defense. Now let's go to today, to the Jets. The Jets, how do we help them? Well, let's keep them off the field, so 35 minutes of possession for the Jets. How does Mark Sanchez and the running game and Mark Sanchez, and how do they run an offense that keeps the Patriots somewhat off balance? One advantage the Jets thought they had, and it played out, their offensive line was able to match up front. And remember, many of the Patriot defenders had been, up until now, even if they've been 3-year veterans of New England, in one playoff game.
That's correct. Young.
Right, so do you think the Jets played a little more savvy-wise against the Patriots defense?
I certainly think that it played a role. I thought that the offensive line of the Jets did an outstanding job. You look at the Jets stats, 29 carries, 120 yards on the day, a little bit over 4 yards a carry as the day went on. It was a process of wearing the Patriots down. I think you look for that run that gashes the defense at the end of the game. They got it from Green. But that is a process. That doesn't just start with, oh, we blocked them and we moved them and we made a great run. That's the combination of running over the period of the game, the whole game, and at the end, you finally break a team. I thought that ability to run the ball gave them the ability to play action, and we talked about all the pressure brought to bear on Tom Brady. Almost none brought to bear on Mark Sanchez. Now, Mark Sanchez, we talked about Brady being sacked 5 times. Mark Sanchez not sacked once today. So if you have a quarterback standing back, you form that great pocket around him right there. And the kid's got more movement than you give him credit for. He's pretty good outside the pocket and delivering the ball accurately. Well, if you're not hitting a guy and he starts to get comfortable, there's a drill in the NFL called 7-on-7, and all of these quarterbacks start to feel like they're in a 7-on-7 drill if you're not hitting them. Mark Sanchez, offensive line, your running backs, great job, and your wide receivers, outstanding job of getting open for him.
Mark Sanchez, 3 touchdown passes.
Yes.
No turnover play.
Yes.
You know, the kid has played only playoff games on the road, 5 of them. He's 4-1. Obviously, he's got a heck of a team to go with it, but they took the cuffs
Role
off.
reversal.
He's okay, right? He played with confidence throughout.
If you would have said at the beginning of the day, which team's going to play mistake-proof football?
Right.
Which quarterback is going to be protected and which quarterback's going to get sacked 5 times? Who's going to throw the most touchdown passes? Who's going to be comfortable? I think that you would have sensed all of that would have been Tom Brady. And, in fact, it ended up being Mark Sanchez.
Well, Tom Brady wasn't expecting to get to the podium, not moving on in the postseason, but he is there right now as the Jets win 28-21.
In order to score points, you got to consistently be able to put together plays. And we can never really do that or find rhythm. They made a lot of plays. They made many mistakes. We made too many mistakes. Too many plays that weren't the way we do them up.
Well, we're going to fix that. Get back to Tom Brady quickly. In Foxborough, they were expecting to move on, the Patriot faithful, but the New York Jets talked about it all week, and as they said they would.
They backed it up.
They talked the talk, and in the end, they walked the walk. Also, the Bears moving to the championship game.
I'm in a timeout because apparently riding the dog like it's a small horse is frowned upon in this establishment. Luckily, though, I can conceal this bad boy underneath my blanket just so I can get on E-Trade, check my investment portfolio, research stocks. Wait, why you take... Oh, I see. Solitary. Just a man and his thoughts and a smartphone with an E-Trade app. Nobody knows.
E-Trade. Investing unleashed. No one looks at trucks the way GMC engineers do. That's why this year is engineered with variable valve timing, active fuel management, and a 6-speed hydromatic transmission. It's the only truck that delivers over 300 horsepower and best-in-class V8 fuel economy. When you never compromise, you have nothing to hide. Get 0% financing for 60 months when you purchase a 2011 Sierra.
Unbelievable.
Inspired by true events.
Can't even see the bottom.
From James Cameron.
What the hell was that?
Creator of Titanic and Avatar.
The cave is flooded!
Comes a 3D adventure that will take your breath away. Sanctum, rated R.
See you on the other side.
Could have picked a better choice of words.
In Real D and IMAX 3D, February 4th.
Hi. 1 in 5 relationships now begin on an online dating site.
You grew up in a small town or?
Small. It's like the size of this place.
Match.com. More dates, more relationships, and more marriages than any other site. Start for free today.
Coming to Blu-ray. Takers.
We're takers. That's what we do for a living. We take.
Get it on Blu-ray and DVD January 18th.
Big Monday boasts a quadruple header, loaded with 7 top 20 teams, including the number 4 Orange versus number 5 Pitt. The action begins at 3:30 tomorrow on ESPN.
NFL Primetime is presented by E-Trade, Investing Unleashed, and in part by GMC. Vote for the GMC Never Say Never Moment of the Year at NFL.com/GMC.
The stunner is in. The New York Jets, 9-point underdogs, have gone to New England and beaten the Patriots 28-21. So the Jets, 2 years of Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez, moving on to the AFC Championship game next Sunday at Pittsburgh. For the Jets defense, Bart Scott and company, time to whoop it up. The linebacker Scott with our Sal Palantonio.
Anybody can be beat. So how did that just feel?
Felt great. Poetic justice. We know we were a much better team than we came up and represented ourselves, and we're off.
We was ready to come back and show what type of defense, what type of team this was, what kind of character we had. We take a lot of slack. People gave us no chance, like we barely made it in playoffs. We're a good football team. It looks like this team played with anger all day. Why, Bart? For all you non-believers, disrespect us, talk crap about the defense like we ain't the third best defense in the league. All we hear is about their defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we the one to get disrespected. Congratulations. See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait. Back to you.
Sal in the middle. Bart Scott fired up. The Jets fired up because they've knocked Tom Brady and the Pats out of the playoffs. After winning his first 10 postseason games, Brady in the last 9, 4-5. Patriots obviously have lost their last 3 playoff games, something you never thought really you'd be talking about. Happens to the best of them. Of course, it takes an outstanding defensive effort. Bart Scott spoke to it. So did Antonio Cromartie.
I mean, our whole thing was just going out and doing the things that we need to do. I think we had 6 sacks this game and got, Brady frustrated and got him moving outside the pocket. We felt like once he moved outside the pocket that he wasn't as accurate as a passer. So, we just did the things that we needed to do, and we went out and scored points. We caused turnovers and things like that, and that's what you have to do.
But they assembled a lot of big-time players. Cromartie being one of the newer players. Jason Taylor, Bart Scott. Well, he's been there a couple of years.
Yeah, talented.
So defensively, the Jets look. We thought for a while this year, and even the Jets would probably admit it, didn't look like they were playing defense as good as last year. But maybe they were saving the best for last.
Well, boom, not when you get beat 45-3 and we all see it on national TV. We go, wow, what's wrong with them? But I understand the mindset of Bart Scott. They felt disrespected. They knew that within the confines of their locker room, they were a solid football team, especially on the defensive side of the field, where really Rex Ryan made his bones. They came out to prove something. Now, I, as a former player, knew, and we talked about it again this morning on Countdown, 45-3 means nothing in week 13. All that means anything is going out, divisional round, we're going to line up and play our best football today and see how it turns out. And it turned out that they were the better football team today. And I think, minus the last touchdown scored by the Patriots, clearly the better football team today.
Well, the Jets came in with plans and made a defensive play by Harris right away. So if there was any doubt, it was erased.
That's correct.
Right away. And actually, they got no points out of it.
Yeah,
could have been worse.
I'm reminded that no points scored off of that interception run back into the red zone by Harris. So that game really played out that the rest of the football game was where the Jets were really dominant.
So the New York Jets knocked the Patriots out. When we return on NFL Primetime, Pete Carroll, Seattle Seahawks' Cinderella story. The Bears at Soldier Field, would they have other ideas? The early game next.
DirecTV now gives you instant access to 6,000 shows and movies at no extra charge. You're gonna be busy. Super busy. Don't just watch TV. DirecTV.
Go bold instead of the same old with Chili's new $6 lunch break combos. Choose from a house salad or hot, tasty soup. Then pair it with a massive Texas toast half sandwich, like our delicious classic turkey, or our gigantic new Southwestern BLT smothered in cilantro lime mayo and jam-packed with 3 glorious slices of Applewood smoked bacon. Served with fries. That's big flavor for just $6. The $6 break for bold. Weekdays at Chili's.
Hey, Ovi. Hey, what's up? What are you doing in the dark, man?
Nothing, just the late night filings.
Really? Late night filing? What are you, a Russian spy or something?
Yeah, right.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, see ya. Пронесло. Да уж, чуть не спалили.
Want to win your share of $1.5 million? Come celebrate Pala Casino Spa and Resort's 10th anniversary. 10 months of giveaways, starting with the Show Me the Dough $150,000 giveaway.
Buongiorno, new Subway pesto sandwiches. Dim the lights and say ciao to the new pesto turkey, seasoned in a zesty pesto sauce, flourishing with garlic and basil for fantastical flavor. This surprisingly low-fat sandwich is as breathtaking as the rolling hills of Toscana. Or experience the molto delicioso new pesto chicken melt, grilled to juicy perfection and layered in melty cheese on a freshly baked 9-grain wheat bread. The new pesto sandwiches. Crank up the flavor at Subway.
You can win your share of $150,000. Play the Show Me the Dough giveaway at Pala Casino Spa and Resort and come celebrate our 10th anniversary with 10 months of giveaways totaling $1.5 million.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by E-Trade.
It was, frankly, one of the more amazing stories we've seen in a long time. The 7-9 Seattle Seahawks, champs of the NFC West, dethroners, if you will, of the defending champion New Orleans Saints, now moved on to Chicago. For the Seahawks, who once upon a time fell to 6-7, 14 things from that time had to happen for them to host an NFC championship game. The first 13 had happened. Now it was up only to them. However, they had to go into Chicago, where the Bears, the champs of the NFC North, had another idea for Matt Hasselbeck and company. Jay Cutler, first ever playoff game. Hasselbeck is 11th. What would happen? Well, Cutler and Greg Olsen, the tight end, right out of the gates on 3rd and 2. 3 minutes in, the Bears are up 7-0 in suddenly snowy Chicago.
Yeah, Olsen covered by Lawyer Malloy, and he just outruns him down the seam. Good throw by Cutler. That's a pretty easy touchdown for the Bears to start this game.
Now Seattle. They go to their tight end, John Carlson, who caught 2 touchdowns last week. Daniel Manning knocks him out of bounds, and then he was down. Very scary moment very early in this, right on the sideline. He stayed overnight in a hospital for observation. Reports are okay, which is great news, but again, stayed overnight. Now back to football. Hasselbeck to Cameron Mora. Less of Mora, unfortunately. And then 3rd and 11. Hasselbeck again to Mora. Mora goes 10 yards. Seahawks a yard short. They're going to punt it. And with Devin Hester, that's always interesting. John Ryan punts it out inside the 10-yard line. Chicago ball. So now Jay Cutler. Snowflakes you see to Olsen down the sideline. See, the Bears get the lead. It starts to snow. It's all working out perfectly, Tom. The reverse, you know what I'm talking about. Another 12. Meanwhile, Jordan Babineau had a chance to go the other way.
And on the road in the playoffs, you have to take advantage of actually chances like that. Could have been a 100-yard return instead.
Well, it's 4th and 1 at the 3, and Cutler gets a first down, and now it's Chester Taylor, and he's in, and the Bears go up 14-0. So they convert the 4th and 1, and then the short touchdown blast. Cutler play action. Steps up, goes across the field. And here goes Olsen. 3 catches, $113 in the first half. And now later in the drive, 3rd and 5. Cutler takes it in himself, gets in the end zone, and it's 21-0 Dub Bears.
Yeah, this is a call quarterback draw. Jay Cutler gets the snap, starts to his right. You can see the defense is drawn in. I'm going to say this is good vision on Jay's part. He spots that little hole to the left, and then I like the fact that he's willing to run through somebody to get into the end zone.
So now Seattle in the 3rd quarter has to make something happen against Lovie Smith's defense pitching a shutout, and now they know what's coming. Guys like Charles Peanut Tillman, almost makes the pick here. And you know what? Get down and give me 10. So he does it. Seattle forced to punt. Next Bears possession. Pass to Kellen Davis. Bang! With Marcus Trufant, who got the worst of it. The knee hit his helmet, Tommy. He, too, overnight for observation.
Yeah, you take another look at this. You're going to see Trufant's head right there, smack on Kellen Davis's knee. And, you know, we know it's always pretty serious when we see the arms go stiff like that.
Well, again, it was better news later, but stayed overnight. Cutler now rolling it out. And he'll keep it himself, so he's thrown to, run to. Here it is, Cutler, now fourth quarter. Here's the second toss to Kellen Davis. Boy, tight ends story. Cutler, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing TDs. Matt Hasselbeck came back as much as he could through 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. The game was long over, and so the Chicago Bears, moving on to another home game, they go on and beat the Seattle Seahawks 35-24. They're hoping it shades of 06. They opened at home against Seattle, and then it hosted the championship game in which they beat the New Orleans Saints. 1 playoff game, 1 win. Jay Cutler.
It was fun to be at home and to be in the situation we were in with the bye, and you know, to play a team like Seattle after they had a really big win against the Saints. We knew it was going to be a challenge, but we came out of the gates quick, and that really got us going.
I don't know if you're going to get any better of a performance out of a quarterback in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what he threw for the yards. Who cares? I mean, 2 throwing touchdowns. You know, no turnovers, taking care of the ball, making those decisions, moving us up and down the field.
We didn't get enough done. And so we missed this opportunity, is what it feels like, to play really well and to get it done and to take the next step that a lot of people didn't think we could do.
I don't know if everyone realizes how close we were to doing something really special. I mean, we had everything set up for us. We didn't deserve it, but it was right there for us, and we didn't take advantage.
And look, we just put it up because it's a fact. Nobody's comparing Jay Cutler to Otto Graham, and I'm sure Jay wouldn't want us to do it, but the only times in NFL history that someone has passed for 2 and rushed for 2 in a playoff game, Jay Cutler today. Automatic Otto Graham, the Hall of Famer, 1955, 1954 Cleveland Browns. Of course, Jay will have to go a while if he wants to have 10 seasons and playing 10 championship games. But look, that is a fact, and the Chicago Bears had it their way right from the start, and as soon as they got the lead. And then poor Olsen is down on the sidelines, and then here it's snowing, and then we give the Bears defense a lot of credit, and Seattle was just out of it in a hurry, Tom.
Well, I think in all phases, the Chicago Bears outplayed the Seattle Seahawks, and I think it was measurable when you looked at the ability that Jay Cutler had to throw the ball downfield, his receivers catching the ball, making added yards after catch. I think all of those things were evident for that football team. Matt Forte running the football, the play action that came off of it. Here, a little 10-yard swing outside on a route that ends up being a 33-yard gain down the field. Outstanding protection by the offensive line. The inability of here's a screenplay, could go for 5, ends up going for more like 25 or 30 yards down the football field. When you think about the Seattle Seahawks, I thought that really the aberration was what they did last week against the Saints. This is more of what they have been this entire year. And when they have lost by a lot. The problem I have right here is, and I'll be quite honest, when you're playing a team that's playing this badly, I have a difficult time. I know the Chicago Bears are a good football team. I can't tell how good because the Seattle Seahawks played so badly.
Yet I think what played also, and the Bears said all the right things during the week, and maybe what played into Chicago said, look, we lost to Seattle on this field before. So there would be no overlooking because it was back in October. One thing that they have done, and we've talked about it repeatedly, and they'll need it a lot moving forward against Green Bay, is since that bye week, they shored up the way they block, the way they run their offense, and as a result, they're 7-2. And let's not forget, as we size up the Bears, they have home wins on the Jets, Philadelphia, and Green Bay. So we know there's something there. We know that.
Well, and you talked about it. I think this is like a Christmas present to the Chicago Bears, whose fans realized what happened last night, woke up this morning and found out we're going to have home field if we continue to win as we go through the playoffs. And I think that really the key to their season thus far is Coach Martz and that staff offensively shortening up the drops, giving Jay Cutler more protection, making the routes accompany the protection that goes with it. Because once you start making him feel comfortable, I mean, there's nobody who is more gifted throwing the ball downfield than Jay Cutler. just nobody who's more gifted throwing the ball downfield than Jay Cutler. If you can make him comfortable, there's no doubt that this team as well could get to the Super Bowl.
He may see a guy across the field next week who's pretty gifted in that.
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Jeez, just think about it. In this crazy season, the Bears are going to play the Packers, the oldest rivalry in football, for the 182nd time. That's not too bad.
When we return, we'll look ahead to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers playing at Chicago against the Bears for the right to get to the Super Bowl. And Big Ben, 9-2 now in the postseason. Now we'll host New York Football Jets.
ESPN, your NBA destination. Get your hoops fix Martin Luther King weekend on ESPN. Tonight, Carmelo Anthony takes the Nuggets into San Antonio for a tilt with Tony Parker and the league-leading Spurs. Tomorrow afternoon at a special time, 1 Eastern, Derrick Rose, Carlos Boozer, and the Bulls battle Rudy Gay and the Grizzlies in Memphis. Tonight, Nuggets Spurs at 9. Then tomorrow, Bulls Grizzlies at 1 on ESPN.
There are so many ways to find hotel deals. Ben spends ages searching dozens of travel sites. He just won't let other people help. Jake prefers to have others do the work. He just goes to kayak.com. In one search, the job is done for him. Is it better to do the work on your own? Ask yourself. Compare hundreds of travel sites at once. Kayak. Search one and done.
Let's go live right now.
Get the movie that over 350 critics have named one of the best movies of the year. The New York Post raves it's the first great 21st century film. The Social Network, now on 2-disc Blu-ray and DVD.
I'm Piers Morgan. A great interview is about getting the truth out of my guests. Get away from the caricature. Where is the real person here? Come on, guys. I made Simon Cowell cry.
Don't know this about me.
It's my responsibility to bring him back.
No Roman can survive north of the wall. He's a slave.
He can use his knowledge. He speaks the language. You saved my life. That's how it should be.
The Eagle.
They'll never catch us on foot. Have you seen them run?
Rated PG-13.
Welcome to NFL Network's playoff coverage. We have plenty to talk about as the race.
The NFL draft is officially open.
Here are my NFL.com fantasy projections for 2011. Adrian Peterson's one of my top running backs.
This is NFL Red Zone, where you get every touchdown from every game. Touchdown!
Get the NFL. Anytime, anywhere.
Big Monday boasts a quadruple header, loaded with 7 top 20 teams, including the number 4 Orange versus number 5 Pitt, and third-ranked Kansas. The action begins at 3:30 on ESPN, the home court of Big Monday.
Big surprise in Foxborough, where Tom Brady and the Patriots figured, well, they rolled the Jets in December. Could they do it again against young Mark Sanchez? Jets up 14-11 in the fourth quarter. Sanchez to Santonio Holmes. Another fabulous catch for a touchdown in the postseason.
It's a great job of getting the knee down, the toe. Well, you get him on the sideline, he doesn't drop it, does he?
Every game in the postseason except last week, he's caught a touchdown. And then Sean Green cements it, puts the Jets up 28-14. They go on to win 28-21 to the chagrin of Tom Brady.
Just a, lack of execution. I think in order to score points, you got to consistently be able to put together plays. And, we could never really do that or find a rhythm. And, they made a lot of plays. They didn't make many mistakes. So, we made too many mistakes. There's too many plays that weren't the way we drew them up.
Did they do a good job with pressure and coverage?
Yeah, I think they played a lot more coverage today, probably similar to what they did last week. But you know, they mix it up quite a bit. They certainly have a lot of calls. You know, I think it was good. It was a good plan by them, and you know, you got to give them a lot of credit.
Around the zone, surprise you guys that they played?
I don't think we're surprised by anything. I thought, you know, they could certainly zone us off more. You know, they did. I thought times we handled it well, times we didn't. But yeah, they mixed it up. I thought they executed pretty well. Didn't really give up any big plays. We just didn't make enough plays.
You okay with your clock management in the fourth quarter? You got down to 10. And it's a long drive. You got down inside the 20. It seemed to take a long time. Is there any urgency, or were you worried about how much time that was taking?
Well, we thought if we could get it in the end zone, it's a 3-point game. So, you know, I think there was probably 4 minutes left when we ended up kicking that field goal. If we score a touchdown with 4 minutes left, we're down 3 with 4 minutes. So, thought we had an opportunity there, but you know, ended up kicking a field goal. Didn't really execute the way we needed to finish that drive, and then you know, just couldn't get the ball in the end zone when we needed to.
Well, a frustrated Tom Brady, and hats off to the New York Jets for that defensive performance, and as many points, and this is no knock, of course, when you score 518 points, you don't need to make any apologies, but a different sort of Patriot offense and trying to come from behind by 2 scores. Not that they can't do it, but the Jets made sure that we're going to make this awfully tough, and they didn't have quick strike capability. The quickest strike they had was the punt return by Berman.
I think that the difference between this football team and the ones in the past is that when you take Randy Moss out of the lineup, you lose that deep threat, the instant deep threat, where you can eat up 80 yards of football right now. So even when the New England Patriots were behind, they were forced to kind of dink and dunk to work their way downfield, and you're kind of at the mercy of the clock. So I thought that was one thing that certainly hurt him. But look, Tom Brady, who we just heard from, instant Hall of Famer 5 years after he retires from this game, may have more Super Bowl wins than any other quarterback who's ever played by the time he gets through playing, a master at the position. But I think that most defenses, great defenses, would agree. They're all the same when they're getting hit. When you're getting knocked down, there's no one in life who's comfortable being knocked around by guys who weigh 280, 290, 300 pounds. There's no one in life who's comfortable doing that. That pressure brought to bear today on Tom Brady really was the difference in the game.
What was interesting is we talk about in defending this Patriot offense, Tommy, who do you really take out? Because the Patriots seem to every game, all right, here are the rookie tight ends. Here's Welker in the slot. Here's Woodhead, who had a very good game. Here's Deion Branch, who is one of the guys that they elected to take out. What happened was the Jets covered and took out enough at the right times that the Patriots did, you've left this part open, haven't you? They didn't have a grand opening, did they?
No, they didn't, but I thought that they did a great job, the Jets and their staff, of moving people around. No single guy was on any single other guy all the time, although I believe that Revis was on Deion Branch the majority of the football game. But as they mixed and matched the coverages via situations, whether it was 3rd and 5, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 13, I think that they did a great job of mixing and matching those coverages so that they caused a little bit of confusion with Tom Brady in that offense. And they did a better job of tackling. They did a better job today of tackling the football once it was completed downfield.
Fundamentals to the Jets.
Yes, fundamentals to the Jets.
And the game to the Jets, 28-21. When we return, we will look ahead
to the AFC Championship game. We'll hear from Mark Sanchez, and we'll analyze his matchup now on the road with Ben Roethlisberger. My goodness, will it ever end?
A Big Monday quadruple header begins at 3:30 tomorrow on ESPN.
Redesigned Power E-Trade Pro. It's like hardwiring the market right into my desktop. Launch my watch list, a popping stock catches my eye. Pull up the price chart, see what the analysts say. As I jump back, CNBC confirms what I thought. Pull the trigger, done. I can even do most of this on my smartphone. Really, it's incredible. Like nothing I've ever experienced. Unleash your investing and trade free for 60 days with E-Trade.
They said I couldn't be a high school quarterback. They said I couldn't get a D1 scholarship. You can't make it, you're not good enough, you're not skilled enough. They said I couldn't win a Heisman. They said I couldn't win a national championship. They said I wouldn't be a first-round draft pick. They said I couldn't play in the league. Appreciate that. Find your fuel at FRS.com.
I'm Adam from Colorado, and I lost 35 pounds.
I'm Brittany from Toronto. I lost 42 pounds.
I highly recommend Hydroxycut. The key ingredients are clinically proven to help people lose more weight.
New Proclinical Hydroxycut. Lose weight. Start now.
Pressure can cause anyone's deodorant to fail. Introducing Gillette Odor Shield Antiperspirant that targets and neutralizes odor at the source. Help eliminate odor. Don't just cover it up.
Introducing the ESPN pack from Sprint ID. One-click access to scores, fantasy, apps, ESPN mobile TV, and more. Visit sprint.com/ESPN.
Hey, Ovi. Hey, what's up? What are you doing in the dark, man?
Nothing, just the late night filings.
Really? Late night filing? What are you, a Russian spy or something?
Yeah, right.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, see ya. Пронесло. Да уж, чуть не спалили.
ESPN 3D is here. Contact your video provider or visit ESPN.com/3D.
Mark Sanchez. First 2 games in Foxborough, one this season, one his rookie season, not so good. 1 touchdown, 7 picks. Playoffs, divisional round, very good. 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a win over Tom Brady and New England, 28-21. For Sanchez, his 4th playoff win.
Absolutely. And Dustin Keller, you know, those guys take a lot of pressure off the quarterback, and they were great. Read everything really well. You know, made big-time catches for us, crucial catches at the right moments. And their second effort, their diving catches, when they can make a quarterback look great. And so I owe a lot to them. They did a great job tonight.
Mark, this place has been a house of work in the first 2 visits. How does it feel to kind of get that movie off the game? You played well here, you got the point down right now.
I mean, I wasn't playing against Tom. He's a great quarterback, and you know, I respect him. But you know, I was playing against their defense, and we had a great offensive plan. Coach Cav, Coach Schottenheimer, Coach Callahan, all did a great job, putting us in the right spots, giving us opportunities to make plays, and you know, it all kind of came to fruition tonight. So I was proud of our effort. You know, and the offensive line did a heck of a job. So it's a lot easier when you have that kind of time and that kind of protection. So I was proud of our guys.
Can you talk about the drive after they made 14-11, you had a long pass to Jacob and then the touchdown?
Sure. You know, it just kind of fell right into our game plan. We knew that the big plays would come, and all week Coach Cav and Coach Schottenheimer talked about staying aggressive with your arm but being very smart when you throw the ball down the field. And you know, it was an underneath pass that Jaco kind of sprung loose on. He read the coverage perfectly, got the ball, and made everything happen. So we got down in tight there. We needed a play on 3rd down, and Santonio was ready. You know, Braylon made a big play earlier. Jaco set us up for the touchdown, and Santonio kind of sealed the deal right there with a great catch in the back of the end zone. So it was a great effort by all of us, and a good job by Jaco getting us down there.
Can you break down that one play to Brown first half? And then you talk about doing 1 round. You clearly made contact with him before he threw it.
Sorry, his touchdown?
Not the touchdown. The one that set the first touchdown.
Right. You know, they covered things well on the front side where my read was, and you know, we felt pressure from the left side. I just moved out of the way, tried to protect the ball, and knew that I had an extra second. He was looking back at me, and I just kind of pointed him where to go, and he knew exactly what to do, made a great catch.
Mark, it looked like you could have run for that first round. Did you think about that at all?
Maybe for a second, but I saw Braylon flash, and you know, I was just trusting my instincts.
Mark, how satisfying is this win against the team that's kind of been a thorn for the most part, and this franchise aside
Well, we knew you know, since I've been playing here just last year, that I think we were 2-2 coming into the game, and this was a great rubber match for us. So we treated them with respect all week, at least I did with my comments.
You know, because I do respect their coach and their quarterback and all their players. But, you know, I just felt like this week coming in, I needed to be smart and take what they gave me, not get caught up in, oh, you can't win up here, use that as fuel. And, you know, we just stayed within ourselves and let the other guys make plays. They did it all.
So let's see. Mark Sanchez and the Jets have beaten Peyton Manning. The next week they beat Tom Brady
and the Patriots, and now they have to go into Pittsburgh to try to slay Big Ben Roethlisberger, 9-2 in the postseason. Can they beat the Steelers? Well, unlike this game, they've already won there this year. In Week 15, of course, the big win, 22-17, kind of a statement game at the time for the Jets, who were, quote, reeling with a couple of losses. In the AFC Championship games on the road, Jets historians will tell you not so good, although they led at the half last year at Indianapolis. And, of course, for Pittsburgh, business as usual. Not only these Steelers, but those Steelers, the most all-time in there in the championship game appearance. So we look at this, and now it's another type of defensive match. We must start that way, don't we, Tom, for that game?
Yeah, I think those similar in the sense that it's going to be a very physical game. I think that points will be certainly at a premium for both teams. I think who can run the football the best is going to set the quarterback up, that quarterback, for play-action pass, and you can't make mistakes. I think that when you hear Mark Sanchez say, I wanted to play with them myself, not go in and make mistakes, I think that has to be the same thought process as he goes in to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Be aware of where number 43 is, because he can really ruin your day offensively if you throw the ball in his area.
Yeah, but you can't win 3 straight on the road. Wait a minute now. Another team from New York did it 3 years ago, and actually Pittsburgh did it with Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're not the only ones, but this is all in recent memory. And as you point out, from Pittsburgh's side of the ball, their road to the Super Bowl does not involve New England. the two that they've won, and that's
it's just an odd thing. They can win their 3rd Super Bowl in a very short length of time and not go through what many people believe has been one of the best teams, if not the best team of the decade. It's just interesting.
Yes, it is.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers host the Jets in the AFC Championship game. When we return, we will talk about the NFC Championship game, where we think those are franchises with some names. How about this? Packers, Bears for all the mob.
Tonight, someone around the corner from you is going on a Match.com first date.
Have I got like awful red wine stain on my lips?
No.
Would you tell me if I had?
When will you go on yours? Match.com. More dates, more relationships, and more marriages than any other site. Start for free today.
This Tuesday, that's Reese. From the filmmakers who brought you Resident Evil and Death Race comes an all-new movie. Danny Trejo, Ving Rhames, Death Race 2, unrated. Own it Tuesday.
Winter X Games 15 starts January 27th on ESPN, presented by America's Navy.
Five oceans. Seven continents. Whatever it takes. Wherever it takes us. America's Navy, a global force for good.
I want to improve my career opportunities.
I want to earn a higher salary at my job.
I'd like to finish what I started.
The new Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts degree completion program at Cal State Long Beach will help you achieve your educational goals while keeping your life in balance. Contact our customer service center at 1-800-963-2250 for more information, or visit us on the web. Let CSULB help you finish what you started.
John, what is this app?
That's weird.
Yeah, I have one too.
There's an app for love, and it's called Sarah Leonard Fine Jewelers, engaging LA for over 60 years.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by E-Trade.
The NFC Championship game, have the Bears and Packers ever played before? Well, actually, they've done it 181 times. But only once, and it's not that surprising, really, 1941 in the Western Division playoffs.
And a game that the Chicago Bears won, but that's a long time ago. The Bears won in Week 3 at home.
Packers won to get in the playoffs
at Lambeau 10-3. And not often do you see divisional teams play against each other. Haven't seen that since '89 for the NFC title. Aaron Rodgers, 3 playoff games, including that wild loss last year. 3 playoff games, he's rung up 114 points. Saturday night at Atlanta, the #1 seed, was a quarterbacking clinic, Tom.
Yes, absolutely. A rare talent in the fact that he has a lot of things in the toolbox. When you talk about his ability to get the ball up, cocked, and out, I think it's unparalleled in the National Football League. Now, here you're going to see the rush get to him from behind. There's only one step before the ball is up, cocked, out, as accurate as anybody in the league. I would compare it to Dan Marino in terms of the quickness of release. But what he has that Marino never had is his ability to move, extend plays in the pocket, run downfield. After Mike Vick, he was #2 in the National Football League in quarterbacks running for yards downfield. The accuracy on the move, I think nobody else has quite what he has, and that's why even as they go to Chicago for an NFC Championship game, they are favored to win the game.
Yes, they're favored by 3.5, very early. But the point is, 2 6s are at #2s. But I will say something, and I'll take it from a few years ago for Chicago to look at. The New York Giants lost in that regular season finale, Tommy, to the New England Patriots, who played so well, so hard. They played with them, albeit losing, and they put that in their pocket, and you saw what happened in the Super Bowl. I think the Bears, who did not, quote, have to play.
That's right.
In that Week 17 game that the Packers had to win to get in. The Bears losing at Lambeau only 10-3, and it was, you know, they were 3-3 a long way. I think they will take a big plus out of that. And they should, because this time it's on their field. Agree?
Yeah, I agree. And as a division rival, they know each other so well anyway that they're going to go into the game, at least the Bears will, with a lot of confidence. So will the Green Bay Packers. You know, we always say it about the Ravens and the Steelers, no surprises. I think between these two teams, there's going to be no surprises.
You know what? The Bears and the Packers have played more than any other team in football, any other teams. They have more Hall of Famers than any other teams. Why shouldn't they play for the right one of these years to go to the Super Bowl? And that's what we have in the NFC title game.
When we return, a final word or 3 here on Extended NFL.
So, Benny, I'm proud of you. Welcome to the 21st century.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're on E-Trade, hunting down stocks, bonds, ETFs.
Oh, I love ETFs.
Look at you. Why don't you show me your portfolio? I'd love to.
I already logged out.
Oh, no, it's easy, actually, to get back. See where it says history?
Oh, there's a history?
Yeah, we'll take you right back to the site that you were just on.
That last site.
And now, cycle complete. The male wildebeest returns to propagate the herd.
Can you forward me this link?
E-Trade. Investing Unleashed. A fully boxed steel frame. A proven Duramax diesel engine. And the same make of transmission found in an M1 tank. Introducing the 2011 Sierra HD, the strongest, smartest, most powerful Sierra, including the first Denali. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job.
What is your intention?
I am to kill you!
Bold talk! You're a one-act Batman!
That is ill-advised.
True Grit is the #1 movie in America.
Help me!
I can do nothing for you.
True Grit. Rated PG-13. Now playing. This Tuesday.
That's Reese.
From the filmmakers who brought you Resident Evil and Death Race comes an all-new movie. Danny Trejo, Ving Rhames, Death Race 2, unrated. Own it Tuesday.
Big Monday boasts a quadruple header loaded with 7 top 20 teams. At 3:30, Villanova's stellar backcourt heads to UConn territory.
Are you serious?
At 5:30, K-State's Jacob Poland tangles with Mizzou. At 7:30, Scoop Jardine and the Orange take the floor against Pitt. And at 9:30, it's Josh Selby in Kansas versus Baylor. Celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day with Big Monday, presented by Bud Light. The action begins at 3:30 tomorrow on ESPN.
NFL Primetime is presented by E-Trade, Investing Unleashed, and in part by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a GMC Sierra Denali at gmc.com/NFL.
You know, lost the game. We had home field advantage and everything, and we lost. So, you know, you got to give the Jets credit. They came in here, had a great game plan, and played really well, and we didn't. And that's what it comes down to.
Does it feel like a lost opportunity for you guys, Wes?
Yeah, it's a lost opportunity. I mean, we were first seed in the, in the playoffs. Of course it is.
All right, so week 2, both number 1 seeds knocked out. Week 1 of the playoffs, both Super Bowl teams from a year ago knocked out. What do we got in the next round?
I'll tell you this, Boom. There's no combination of winners next week that gets to the Super Bowl that I don't like.
4 twists and turns coming. It's been that sort of year. Thanks for watching Primetime.
3 pretty good reasons to go out and buy a jersey for your young basketball fan.